awarded the Indian Achievers Award in 2020 for his innovative SelectorsHub. That's pretty cool. He left his job in June of 2020 and since then has been working full-time for the testing community for free. We do have a link that I'll post for you that we can support him, individuals, or I'm sure companies as well. I think that's pretty fantastic, that this journey that you're on, Sanjay. I'd like to hear more about that too. So with that, I think I'll just turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Penny, for the great start, and I'm so glad to be here. Could you please give me, okay, share access I have now. Yeah, great. Hello, guys, and very good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and hope you all are doing good. So that was a great introduction from Penny, and I'm so thankful. Uh, Nothing more to tell about all those things. So yeah, we can directly get into this solutions and problems discussion. So here we have this like selectors problem. Selectors problem is like the in web automation and UI automation is one of the most challenging part. And I believe like most of you are from automation background, so I will take it from there itself. So if you see that I have done some of the surveys here, that 90% of the time web automation script fail to due to locators issue. Almost like 73% industry agrees that yes, our script used to fails due to selectors and locators issue. So which is the one of the biggest problem in our industry. Like anybody can write and just learn any programming language. If you're writing in Java, Selenium, that you can learn that, but the most challenging part is the locators and selectors problem. So how to solve that, and what are those challenges out there? It's like you can understand the locators, something like your tires of a car. Like if you don't have good tires in your car, and if you just start that, it will run for a small distance and then it will break down. Similarly, if we will not have the good locators, then our script will not run for long and that will break. So that's where we have to make sure that we write the good locators in Xpath. Now point comes to that, how can we write the good locators? Let's say I just started to learn automation from manual, or like I wouldn't use the word manual. Let's say we just started to start learning the automation. So how to start, how can we learn to write the good XPath and CSS selector? Anybody can tell us, and from the books we can learn these methods of, or these functions of XPath, like double forward slash tag name at the rate attribute name is equal to attribute value. Good. You can learn that at double forward slash tag name contains at the rate attribute this. So you can learn from someone or from a book or from a blog few of the methods, but we cannot learn all the functions. Nobody is gonna write in a blog or an article that for this web element how many types of XPath, how many kinds of XPath you can write, what all functions are possible, what all functions are there in XPath. Similarly goes for the CSS selector. You many of you might never have seen these functions in CSS selector, like dollar, cap, star. Even some time back, I also learned these functions while doing something. So it is something like if you start learning any programming language, let's say you are learning Java, by yourself or by reading it from a blog, you will learn some of the methods of a class, of a or a library. But when you will start using a smart editor, that's where when you type dot and that all the autosuggest come in the drop down, that's where you start learning all those methods, that this library has these many methods. So learning from a book and blog can give you the basic fundamental concepts, but to become expert you need a smart editor. From a smart editor you will become the expert, because that will give you the like errors, all the functions. And that's where we were never having any smart editor for the XPath and selectors. And now this is the new innovation, SelectorsHub. the very first smart editor, which will help you to learn uh, all possible functions of XPath for any kind of web element, and it will have like those error handling, so that you will be able to learn how to like what's wrong in your XPath, what all errors you are doing. So let me give you an the quick things about it. So before that, like how can we install it? It's a simple, very simple free browser extension available for all the browsers out there in the market except IE. So I'm sure like most of you are aware that IE is gonna end anytime soon. So yeah, I for IE is not available. Rest it is available for all the browsers. So to install this one, just open selectorsHub.com, and I'm sure like most of you are aware that how to install. So click on Chrome or fill or whichever browser you want, you can install it. It's on selectorsHub.com, and I have already added it, so you can add to Chrome, and if it will ask like to accept that small like that default pop-up used to come that it will access your website and all. So that's a default pop-up that you will get for every extension. You can see that it runs offline, so it runs only on your local. It doesn't have any server, it doesn't save any of your user data at any server. I don't fetch anything. It's absolutely secure and safe. It doesn't collect any of your user data, so don't worry about that. And every company has unblocked it. It is being used in Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. So I mean, it's absolutely secure basically. Okay. So after adding it, like how can we write the selectors and XPath? Okay. Before that, I want to really tell you guys something. A biggest myth of our industry. Myth is like whenever we talk about like in the past or even currently, that we should write our own XPath and CSS selector. We should not use a tool. And in fact, like we all say that sometimes when we are expert in writing these selectors and XPath, we used to say, no, 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 I don't use the tool. I'm an expert. But the fact is, everybody is using a tool to write and verify XPath and CSS selector, which is the dev tools. So this is the biggest myth. Everyone is using a tool. Dev tools is also a tool, right? But here we will have to understand, is DevTools is right platform to verify XPath and CSS selectors? This was never ever discussed in our industry, and nobody ever talked about it. Just blindly says that write your own XPath or CSS selector, or people just say that we write our own XPath and writing it by default, verifying it in DevTools. But have you ever understood this thing that DevTools provide the right info about XPath and CSS selector? This we have in our mind that will provide the right information. We have considered DevTools as a standard, but that is a myth. It doesn't provide you the actual count of XPath and CSS selectors match. Many times it gives you the wrong information. Let me show you how. So for an example, let me take the very simple example on google.com. Penny, I hope my screen and voice everything is clear. I'm speaking from long.
You're doing great. We can hear you just
Okay,
fine, and the screen looks pretty good to me. Yeah, it's pretty good.
cool, awesome. uh, this screen dev tools is visible, hope. Yeah, this is cool. So here like very simple thing, on google.com somebody asks us how many links are there on this page. So what generally people do is like they immediately open console here, elements tab, and do command F and start writing selectors here. Yeah, so here if immediately people start doing writing this double forward slash a here, and it is giving 44 match. How many of you believe that this 44 is right? Most of the time we do in this way, but we never realize that this could be wrong. So here you see that this is not the right count of anchor tags in this page region, because it also matches the string in this DOM. Like you see that this is matching double forward slash a, this one, which is not an anchor tag. This is not an anchor tag. If you keep hitting it, you will keep getting it like double forward slash a double forward slash a. These matches, this is not the right count of XPath which you are looking for. So there are not 44 links on this page. The reason, because it gives you the string match as well, find by string. The very first functionality of your DevTools DOM here is the string match. I will also come to the console as well. I will show that as well, how that gives you the wrong information. So here, when you verify your XPath in CSS selector, suppose like if we write the CSS selector just A, like, are there 423 links? No, there are not 423 links. So this gives you the wrong matches many a times. This is just a very simple example. Now, okay, so another thing, like where you will get the selector sub in DevTools, it will be the last sidebar tab here. Or if you expand this one, you will get it here. So open this one, selector sub. This is the very first view of selector sub. This is how you will see. And here, suppose if you have written the same XPath double forward slash a and hit enter, it will give you the right count of anchor tag, right count of XPath matches. So you see that there are 35 elements. That means there are, on this page on google.com, there are 35 links only. And here are those links. So this is how you get the right count. And if you do simple just CSS selector also, then also you should get the right same number of count. So there are 35 matching elements. And in many cases it breaks. Like suppose this is a page here, and you right click and click on inspect here, and there is an element, this one. Let me just inspect this here, this input box. Trust me guys, if you try it like by yourself, this one, you will understand the value of this. Here, if we have to get the XPath, let's say many a times people think that every time DevTools generate the correct XPath. Some people do this as well. Like they copy XPath from here. Let's say copy XPath and let me paste it here. Here in DevTools, you see that it's showing 0 of 0. So DevTools doesn't generate always the correct XPath, always the correct selector for the element. And let's say if you copy the CSS selector, this one, this is also, it is showing 0 of 0. Now you must be surprised that why it's showing 0 of 0 while this is the right CSS selector and right XPath it was. And in fact, like let me go to console here and do it here, like double forward slash, sorry, star, and then paste this. Still it is showing null, though this is a right CSS selector for that element. In fact, if you do dollar dollar, then also it's giving the blank value, nothing, no result out there. Region, because this is inside shadow root, and there was no tool which was which where we can verify these selectors. So that's where it gives the wrong value here. And if you write the same CSS selector here in SelectorsHub and hit enter, you see that it's one element matching. So SelectorsHub is the right platform to write and verify. This DevTools was a myth, like which we never considered, that we never try to understand that we are getting the wrong information. Another one example I will show you, this one, like this SVG element. If you copy this XPath here and paste it here, see that it is showing 0 of 0. It also gives the wrong selectors. And likewise, there are like, this is a wrong XPath format itself. Like DevTools generate the wrong XPath, wrong format. And this is just like few examples I showed you. There are many examples. So basically what I'm trying to tell you guys here, that unknowingly our whole industry has written XPath and CSS selectors till date in a wrong way, and we never realized that we have wasted a lot of time. What happens, like many times we used to keep trying to make a unique XPath, though we have written a unique XPath. One quick example I will show you, which will really realize that what we have done wrong and how our industry is doing wrong. Oh my god, this zoom never got this down. Yeah. So here, suppose for this element we have to write an XPath. Let's say for this element we have to write an XPath, this one. So what we generally do, like we'll copy this class and start typing here. Let's say div at the rate class is equal to this container, and hit enter. There are 6 matching node it's showing, but you know that this is a unique XPath we have written. If you copy this XPath and go to just Selectors Hub and paste it here, this is a unique XPath. While here we will keep trying to make it unique, but it's still showing 6 matching nodes. Region, because it is inside iframe, and when you verify here it in DevTools, what it does, like it show you all the matches, like inside iframe, inside another iframe, and inside like top level DOM. So that's where like you keep wasting a lot of time just to make it unique, though you have written the unique XPath, which you can directly use it in your script. So this is all where we have wasted a lot of time, and our industry keep wasting time, keep wasting. They think like, okay, we are doing it in a right way, and that's where. So I hope this is clear that this was the myth that DevTools provides the right info about XPath and selectors. No, this is not the right way of writing and verifying XPath and selectors. Now, let me show you how Selectors Hub can help you to learn writing XPath CSS selector quickly, and how it helps every day in your work. So suppose we have to write XPath and CSS selector for any field. You just right click on inspect, and suppose this is the element for which we have to write the XPath. How quickly we can do it? Like open Selectors Hub. It is giving auto-generated selectors. Let's say you don't want the auto-generated and you just want to use it as an editor. So there's a button here in Selectors Hub. This button, you can turn off the auto-suggest selectors, and then you can use it as an editor. And now here, if you see that, what we generally do, like how we write /input here we do, and then we copy this class, and now as it is highlighted, so I cannot copy this class as well. This is another challenge. And then we have to basically type, and so many things we have to do here. So basically lots of waste of time here. But here in you Selectors Hub, as you start typing, you start getting an auto suggest as an smart editor, and then you can select this value, and as you type you get all possible combinations of XPath functions along with their occurrences. So you see that any of these you can choose here, and it gives you the occurrences. It tells you that with this combination there will be 3 match, with this there will be 4 match, this one, and these all are XPath functions. So this is how your it helps you like in smart editor, and you will not have to copy the value and all, and not multiple times you will have to inspect this one, and you can select this and complete your XPath. If you want to add more conditions like and conditions, that you all can do it here and quickly build your XPath and CSS selector. If you want to you want to use the access and all, that you can do, like as you start typing the uh, like ancestor or access and all those, so it gives those all auto suggest. You just start typing, you will get all each and everything here. So this really helps you a lot. If you want to write CSS selector, as you type here, it understand whether you are typing XPath and CSS selector, and it will give you the auto suggest according to that. And then if you start typing here, you will get the auto suggest of CSS selectors here, and it has all those functions here inside inbuilt. So this really helps you a lot, like as a smart editor, to build your own XPath and CSS selector very quickly, and then without wasting any time, and it will give you all possibilities. So you will be writing your selectors really quick, and learning at the same time that what all possibilities, because no one ever gonna tell you, because for this element, okay, you got it, like these many selectors are possible, these many auto suggest functions are possible. But for another element, nobody is gonna tell you. You will not be having every time someone expert beside you that who can suggest you like what all kinds of XPath you can write for this element. So this will really help you a lot. That question comes like many times as a beginner or expert, sometimes we like don't understand that what's wrong in there in XPath, because we write sometimes really long XPath, and that's becomes like really painful to look at with the naked eyes. You cannot understand that what's wrong in your XPath. Let's say for an example, if you miss the single quote here and you are verifying the XPath here, it is showing 0 0. It is really hard to identify what's wrong in this XPath. So we feel that we have written a like this XPath is not right, we will have to write use some other attribute. That's what we all do. And in fact, like sometimes while debugging our script, we miss these things, that small things, while copying the XPath value from our script and pasting it here. If you paste that XPath here and hit enter, it will let you know that what's wrong in your XPath, like single quote is missing. Then you will see that okay, single quote is missing, and you can fix it. Check the syntax and spelling. Okay, so basically, like when you write any XPath here and do anything wrong here, so single quote is missing and one matching node, so it will help you that what's wrong and what's missing. Like if you miss that close square bracket, that it will suggest you that close square bracket is missing. If you do anything wrong, like let's say you want to do some kind of practice, that you are writing an XPath like double forward slash input, and then you want to see that whether this is the right syntax or wrong syntax. Who can help you? Nobody else. There is a no book where it is written that this XPath is right or wrong, and you would not be able to understand this one. Like it will show 0 of 0. But here when you will do it in SelectorsHub, it will help you that after add tag name after forward slash, if you do anything wrong here, it will suggest you that what you should do. Like let's say if you write div here and hit enter, it will tell you that after close square bracket, what is allowed, what is not allowed. So all those things you will learn from here, and it will help you to become an expert in XPath and CSS selectors. Friends, if you have any questions or any query, feel free to put in the Q&A or the chat section. I will take all the questions at the end. So this is how it will help you to get these errors and syntax thing. Shadow DOM. So till now there was nothing where we can verify and write the selectors for Shadow DOM, like this one I showed you. Here this element is inside Shadow DOM. Here you have seen that neither from here nor from here easily, like from console it is possible but not easily possible. So that's where SelectorsHub comes as a boon. It will help you, like as soon as you inspect any element here, SelectorsHub will tell you that this element is inside Shadow DOM. In Shadow DOM you can see that, and it also gives you the information that this element is inside Shadow DOM, and for such elements XPath won't support. So you learn two new things here. As soon as you open SelectorsHub, that this element is inside Shadow DOM, XPath doesn't support Shadow DOM, and then you get the complete script, because Shadow DOM elements can't be handled directly as Selenium, as other web element you can handle, like driver.find element or whatever method you are using. You cannot handle them, Shadow DOM elements, directly that way. So that's where SelectorsHub gives you the ready-made script, which you can directly copy and paste it in your script, and you can use it, access this element. And if you write like let's say let me copy the XPath from here, and if you paste it here, SelectorsHub will help you with the right information that XPath doesn't support Shadow DOM, and you will have to write the CSS selector for this one. So this really help you a lot, those kind of information. And still, like many people can write the script for single Shadow DOM, but what if there are multiple Shadow DOM? That is a nightmare. So that's where SelectorsHub also helps a lot. This element is inside two nested Shadow DOM. If there will be 10 nested Shadow DOM, then also SelectorsHub will help you with that complete script and everything. And it also tells you that this is SVG element and what all possibility. Here with the naked eyes, it is really difficult. Like at the DOM, can you look at this, like how many Shadow DOMs are there? It's really painful, like looking at the complete. And imagine like if you have to write just for 5 elements, if you have to handle inside multiple Shadow DOM, like whole day it will take for you. So that's where like it helps a lot. So it gives you the complete information about the shadow DOM elements and the like inside how many nested shadow DOMs. So you see that one example was there that 4 nested shadow DOM was there. So that's where it really helped you. And it was never solved problem. SVG elements. I'm not sure how many of you are aware about that. That SVG elements are not like doesn't support the standard XPath format. Like for an example, if we inspect this element here and you write here double forward slash SVG, this is an invalid XPath syntax for SVG elements. Or let's say if you write so basically that if you write a double forward slash SVG, that's a wrong format, and what your DevTools generate, that's also a wrong format of XPath for SVG element. Then what is the right format? You start typing here, SelectorsHub will give you the right syntax. So these are the right syntax for this SVG element. And in fact, if you keep it on, then it will give you the right syntax of generated selectors. And if you hit enter, you see here it is 9 matching node. Sometimes if you are not able to make it unique, put the cursor in the beginning, type open parenthesis, SelectorsHub will give you unique XPath based on index, and that's where you can make it unique XPath. So it has like really good features, and this is how it helps you in learning and saving the times and handling all kinds of elements. Frames and iframe, frames and nested frames. So this is another big challenge. Yes, you might have seen that in past that iframes element can be handled. Some of the tools also supported that. But what if there is like multiple nested iframes as well? Like for this example, this is simple one, that here you see that it is as soon as you inspect the element, SelectorsHub will give you all the information that this is iframe XPath, this is in frame, and these are the selectors for the inspected element. But what if there are multiple iframes, nested iframes? So here you, let me give you an example. So if you inspect this element, this is inside two nested iframe. Now here SelectorsHub gives you all the information that this element is inside two nested iframe. This is XPath for first iframe, this is for second, and this is for the element which we have inspected. So you can directly switch to this, then switch to this one, and then perform the action on this one. So it's really simple and really quick. But if you have to manually look here in the DOM that how many iframes are there, it's a nightmare to figure it out how many iframes are there, and then writing XPath for all those iframes, and then for that element, it's a nightmare. It's like unsolvable problem sometimes. So this is all where it really helps a lot to handle each and every kind of element. And if there is anything like anything, any kind of things which is not possible, everything you will get it from SelectorsHub. Now let me quickly show you all the features of SelectorsHub here, what all other things it has, because there are multiple buttons and everything is there. So you see that here on SelectorsHub, many times what happens, like we are writing an XPath. So suppose we have to write a new XPath, and what you have to do, like you have written this XPath. Okay, so we have written this XPath. Now we want to write a new XPath. So what you will do, like you will copy this XPath, you will cut it, you will go back to Notepad, somewhere you will save this XPath, right? Then come back and you will write a new XPath here. You will do it right way, this way. Most of us do. But I don't want to do that, like every time go back and save it somewhere and then come back and edit this one and then again go back. No, can we save this value here in SelectorsHub, and whenever we want to fetch that value, edit that again, can we get that? Yes, we can do that. There's a save selector in list. You can click on this, the value is saved here. Whenever you want to get that back again, you just click on this and your values are saved here. So like let's say you deleted this value here and you are editing this one. Now you want to go back and see the previous value, what XPath you have written earlier. You just click on this and you will get it from here. Whichever value you want, you can get it here. So maximum 10 values can be saved here in SelectorsHub. This one, 10 values can be saved, and after that, if you will start still saving, that the oldest one will be automatically deleted and the new one will be saved. So this is how you can use this as a smart editor. You can save the value right there and keep writing your XPath. Here you have seen this button, the use of this button. If you doesn't want to see these auto suggested selectors, you can keep it off. If you have written an XPath, this XPath we have written, but you see that this XPath is something kind of like a case. It's not case insensitive XPath. And suppose you want to write a case insensitive XPath, like you want to make this as small, when now it will be showing 0. So can we make it case insensitive? Yes, you can make it case insensitive. There is a button, you just click on this, it will make your XPath case insensitive, and that's where you see that now all everything is in small. And suppose you have written a CSS selector, let me show you here better. This one is very simple one. So here you see that this is CSS selector. Let me show CSS selector, this one as a small. Now it is showing 0. If you want to convert XPath, CSS selector, everything, just click on this button, it will convert that. And now if you hit enter, it's one matching now. So this helps that way. If you're writing XPath like this way and you are getting these auto suggest, sometimes some people doesn't want to see these auto suggest, no interruption there, because they are really quick, or they want to think from their mind that what all possibilities are there. So you can keep these auto suggest as well off, like you can just turn off, and now when you will type here, you will not get the auto suggest. You can write your own XPath on own way. So all those capabilities are here. Then there's attribute filter as well. Like let's say currently this is generating the XPath with title, but you don't want with title, you want with some other attribute, because many people have their custom attributes in their framework. Like let's say you want to generate with area label, so that you can pass it here, area label, hit enter, it will generate with area label. So this is really helpful. And now if you inspect other element and that will not have area label, then it will generate with other attribute. It also supports the dynamic selectors, dynamic XPath. It like if it will feel that this class value is dynamic, ID value is dynamic, then it will suggest that this alert icon class looks dynamic, uncheck the class box. So you can uncheck this one, and you see that now it will generate with something else. So that's where it really helps you. So you can generate the dynamic XPath based on your requirement. Here also, like when you open selector, what all information you get it here. So you see that it generates the all possible selectors for an inspected element. So if you scroll down, you see that all of them are here. And if you doesn't want to scroll, because many a times you will feel that, oh, what all selectors has been generated, sometimes they don't even scroll. So there is a button to expand this one. You can expand this, and now you will get all here in itself. Now you need not to like every time you scroll up and down, you can see upfront like what all selectors are possible for any inspected element here. So in fact it will give you the link text, partial link text, so what all possible selectors will be there, it will show you here. Then sometimes we feel that because nobody is writing the just select using the selector, there always a command on top of them, like driver.find element command or cy.get command. If it is a cs if you're using Cypress, you will be writing cy.get, right? So can we get that complete command here? Yes, you can get the complete command here. There's a button, set driver command to append on selector, click on this, and here you can set the command. Like let's say you're writing Cypress, cy.get, and wherever you have written CSS selector in your command, just replace that with XPath value keyword. I have kept it simple, so that like just people have to remember that anything in the command you have to replace that with XPath value wherever selector is written. Hit enter, you get the complete command. So now you can copy this and you can use it in your script. So cy.get, you got this one. If it is like let's say your you're writing in Selenium, so you might be having this kind of command, find element, and it could be anything, your command could be anything, and wherever you have written the XPath, just replace that with XPath value. Let's say this is your command like this. So this is here we have written XPath, right? So replace that with XPath value and hit enter, you get this command. And now if you will inspect these any element, you will get that complete command, which you can directly copy and use it in your script. And this command will be saved in your local. You need not to set this again and again, only once it is required. You see that you can, if you want, you can keep it off. You want, comment, again you can turn it on. Also, let's say you want to generate the XPath for multiple elements, CSS selectors for multiple elements. There's a button, you click on this, and suppose you want to write an script for this google.com page. Here you just start inspecting all of them, and you will start getting the result here in selectors. So you see that those XPath, CSS selectors, what all possible selectors are there for these elements, it will give you along with the selectors name. And suppose you want with the command, you just click on this and you get the complete command. And you can directly copy this. Click to copy all, click to copy all. You can copy and paste, go back to your editor here and paste this one. And there you go. If you have the, like many people write like this way, that every element has the reference, right? Web element. And for that you will be like, for this is for Google search button, this is for Google search, this is for search, this is for this I am feeling lucky, that kind of name you used to give, you used to give the keyword, right? So that you can replace here with selector name, and then you will get the complete command, selector name. Just use this keyword here and hit enter. You see that you got the complete command now. So I would really request you that there's a detailed video tutorial on this which you can watch, and this way you can get the complete script as well. Here if you click on this icon, it will show you the detailed tutorial that you can watch. You can also export in XLS. So this feature is really helpful. It saves a tremendous amount of time for you. Then there are certain kinds of dynamic web element which is really impossible to inspect, like this one. Let's say you type Goa and this drop down. Such drop downs are like when you right click, they immediately disappear. So how to inspect these kind of element? This is nightmare. You cannot inspect those elements easily until unless you are not from the dev or JavaScript background. So this drop downs not you can from here inspect, and trust me, not from that F12 or F8 which people can do. No, that is also not possible in these cases. So here SelectorsHub comes as a boon, and whatever you doesn't want to see in SelectorsHub, you can keep settings as per your requirement. All customization is there in UI. So there's a debugger button. Click on this, and within 5 seconds, just make it appear here, and now it will hold here, and you can inspect this element, and you can get the selectors as well. So it will help you with that. Now you can inspect any of these drop down, it will hold there, and it will give you auto generated. So this is how it made possible to inspect such kind of dynamic elements with the help of debugger. If anyone is writing selectors on let's say if you're using Playwright, so you know that on Playwright, many of you are aware that Playwright doesn't support single quote selectors. Like you will have to write the double quotes. Inside this attribute value, you will have to write inside double quote. So there's a button to generate selectors with double quotes. Click on this. Now selectors will generate with double quotes. So you inspect that values. Now it will generate with double quotes. So you can directly copy and use it in your Playwright script or any framework which is supporting double quotes. So this will really help and saves a lot of time. And all these settings, whatever you will do in SelectorsHub, those will be saved in your local. So next time when you will open SelectorsHub, that will open with your settings, and you can customize the view and all everything. Security, how secure it is absolutely secure. Like in the beginning I have showed you. Also, like there's a YouTube, I have in my SelectorsHub YouTube channel, I have prepared a video, like if it is blocked in your company SelectorsHub, like any browser extensions are blocked in your company, that in that case you can get it unblocked easily. Here you can find the tutorial, like what are the permissions it has used, and if it is blocked, how you can get it unblocked. I have shown everything here. Very easily you can get it unblocked. In every company it has been already unblocked. So it will help you. It's absolutely secure, doesn't save any of your user data. Does it slow down your system browser? No, not at all. It's less than 400 kb, not even 1 MB it is in size. So it's absolutely doesn't make any your system's browser or system slow. There could be other region that you have opened many tabs in your browser, so that's another region, not this tool. so no performance issue. I would really request you guys that if you feel that it is helping you in learning and it's a valuable product and it can help other people, then please support, share it. If you have testing blogs, so feel free to add in your testing blogs and you can write articles on it. If you have to YouTube channel, feel free to add tutorials, absolutely free. There is no permission, there's no license required. You want to make a tutorial on it, you can feel free to make the Udemy tutorial on it. In fact, like I have created one Udemy tutorial, more than 11,000 students has taken it. Even that was a paid course. So there are a high demand of these Selectors of tutorial in the market, and people are really looking to learn this one. So feel free to create those. This is absolutely free to use, no license required. And I'm working on this one full time for free. So please support. This is a donate link, and this you can get it here as well on Selectors Hub website. So if you feel the value and if it is helping you in your business, please support, please be patron. Here are some of the achievements of SelectorsHub. SelectorsHub is not yet even 1 year old. It has won the Indian Achievers Award, being used in more than 140 countries. Number one Xpath and CSS selectors tool in all the browser stores. It's a 5-star rated product. It started appearing in engineers' LinkedIn profile. More than 50K downloads till date. Engineers call it lifesaver innovation, and all the trainers on all the platforms, Udemy, YouTube, everywhere it is being suggested. Huge thanks to all these Selector service sponsors, test project on all these sponsors and Petro. Here is one more good feature of Selector Sub, which can save a lot of time for you. Sometimes these kind of drop downs, which you can like right click, but you cannot inspect them. Like when you click on inspect, they doesn't come in DOM. They come only when you hover on them. So in these situations, what to do? So here you have Selector Sub feature that you can directly copy the value from right click. And this context menu, you will when you will right click, you will see one only. You can customize this one. Here, click on this and you see that there are context menu. You can customize what all you want to see in the right context menu. So this you can keep it on, off, so that all things you can do it from here. And here selector sub logo, inside this one, let's say you're facing any issue on selector sub, you want to raise a bug and all, so here you can raise it on Bugasura or GitHub. If you want to connect with me, you can connect on Slack or Telegram group, please join. So if you feel that you have any problem or any issue on selector sub, you can feel free to raise, or you can connect with me directly on this here. And here's a detailed tutorial on selector sub, so please watch that one to understand all the feature and functionality of selector sub. Here are some of the pro tips, like if you want to really understand more things and you are doing web scraping, etc., this will help you. Like you can write XPath based on attribute presence as well. Like let's say suppose someone, you want to write in you want to find those elements in this page, like those links in this page which are not broken, basically which has the href value, let's say. So how you can get all those links? Like currently there are 66 links. Now we want to find out how many links on this page which has the href attribute. So can we do that? Yes, we can do that. Just type /@href, hit enter. There are 66. Okay, all link has href value. Now we want all the links which has class attribute. There are 26 anchor tag, 26 links on this page which has class attribute. And what are the values of those class? Here selector sub shows you. You can also keep it off, then hit enter. These are the class values of all those links. So this way you can get that. XPath based on text availability. Suppose we want to get all the links which has text. So what you can do, /a text. There are 76 anchor tag which has this one. Text matches basically. So this way, or like you want to get all those headers, let's say in this page h1, and then you want to get all those headers which has text. There are two, and this way it goes. So basically like you can get those things here. and fetch text through XPath as well. I would highly recommend you that take this SelectorsHub certification program. This is absolutely free. This will help you a lot to learn a lot of new concepts and new things about XPath and the Selectors concept. So here is this certification program. You click this one, and this is absolutely free. This is number one SelectorsHub certification program out there. Like if you see that yesterday I did a survey, like which certification program you have taken recently. So in the industry, like SelectorsHub comes, this SelectorsHub certification programs comes on the top. This is number one trending SelectorsHub certification program in testing. So you can take this one. This will really help you to brush up your knowledge and the new concepts of XPath and Selectors. With that, my heartfelt gratitude and thank you all for joining today. Huge thanks to QA at Point for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all. And thank you so much, Penny, amazing for being amazing host. And with that, I will take all your questions now and query.